This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
This Thursday, 9 PM UK time, 4 PM Eastern Standard Time, Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith, they will be over there in New York at a press conference to make a huge announcement. Don't expect any fighter announcements on Thursday, but what we do know is that come Friday morning, the American promoters will be crying in their Friday morning breakfast, is what they're going to be doing, and all the Eddie Hearn haters out there, and there is a lot of them, and a lot of them are racist, to be honest, and shame on you, you pure scum, just because you don't like him, because he's the wrong colour and wrong nationality. But fact is, he's going to go over there and make a huge announcement. I imagine it'll be multiple things, broadcasting deals, I imagine that'll probably be some of it. Potentially, it will be between HBO, which is probably the favourite, and maybe ESPN, with again potentially him, Matchroom, buying out Top Rank. Who knows? That's one option. The other one could be that they're setting up full-time camp out there in the US, so Eddie Hearn could be moving out there on a permanent basis, or maybe Frank Smith, but more likely Eddie Hearn, I would imagine. But there again, obviously he's got family, kids, and everything, so who knows? Who knows indeed. But this is something that Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, have been wanting to do for a long time, which is move to the US and to take over the market over there for a sport. Unfortunately, boxing is dying over there. And a lot of it is down to the fact that not necessarily the majority of the fans, but a lot of fans use boxing as a platform for their racial agendas and just hate. Anybody who's not Al Heyman, they hate. That seems to be for a lot of them, unfortunately. And you only have to look around here, even here on YouTube. Some of the fan channels out there of Al Heyman particularly are just using it as racial. And you know who they are, because they don't make nice videos talking about positives. They talk about negatives all the time. You know who they are. And they use it as a way to think that they're in some kind of gang and they're hip. And again, these people, they don't like Eddie Hearn. They don't like Matchroom, they don't trust him, they think he's a snake and use all that. That's kind of what they say, but really what they mean is he's the wrong skin colour. We know this, okay, so they should just admit it, but they won't. They won't. But these people, what they should do when this announcement comes, and it's really going to upset them, but it shouldn't upset them, you see. It should make everybody happy over there in America, because this means more fight nights for you. It also means more pressure on other promoters to put on bigger and better shows for you, to bring on better main events, and ultimately the undercards have to be good as well. So you should be happy about that. So the more promoters that go over there, the more people trying to get into boxing, you should be happy, right? But they're not. They're quite happy for Al Heyman and PBC to own the monopoly, and they're quite desperate to get rid of Bob Arum over there and Oscar De La Hoya, and I'm not even too sure if they even like Floyd Mayweather in that anymore. But anyway, that is what it is. You know what their agenda is. We all know what their agenda is, and it's plainly obvious what it is, because they don't want boxing. They're not boxing fans. They just want to use boxing as racial. That's all it is, unfortunately. But Eddie Hearn's going to go over there, and he's going to make them cry. And to start with, what you're better off doing is saying, okay, we're going to give him a chance. We'll see what happens, blah, 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 blah. This is what they should do, but ultimately they probably won't, because they'll probably go, well, we're going to boycott. We're not going to watch his events. We're not going to talk about them. You will. Of course you will, because he's going to own the monopoly. You have no choice but to watch his shows. You have no choice but to talk about him, whether it's negative or positive. You're making him famous, is what you're doing, and that's a win-win for Eddie Hearn. And this is the start of potentially Matchroom Global. So who knows, maybe take over the boxing world. He's already took over the UK. He pretty much owns a monopoly, not entirely of course, but he pretty much does. And in America, he's going to be focusing a lot on that one, and signing a lot of fighters, and world-class fighters, according to Eddie Hearn as well. So that will be very, very interesting as to what happens. But I think this announcement on Thursday, as I said, it'll be 9 PM UK time, 4 PM Eastern Standard Time over there in America, and it will be announcement for broadcasting. So it could be something to do with Sky. Maybe they've been bought out, so I hear. So that will be a lot more money in the kitty, and a lot more flexibility to flap his wings, if you like, or spread his wings even. So maybe that. HBO is obviously an option. ESPN, especially as he does have, or Matchroom has, a co-promotional event with Top Rank. Already that's set for, is that June or was that July? I forgot now. But that would be Ankayas for Sultan in the main event, with Matchroom's Kal Yafai in the co-main event as well. So it's a dual promotion, Matchroom and Top Rank. So it could be that Matchroom have bought out Top Rank. Potentially, maybe, who knows. Maybe I'm way off the mark. Maybe. But I'm pretty confident that it's going to be something that the American fans are, those who hate him, you're going to have to start being nice to him now. And all the hate isn't going to work. It just isn't going to work. Especially when he's putting on good shows. And you guys, you're not going to boycott them. We know you're not. And if you think by doing that it's going to stop anything, you have no voice. You have no influence. You have no nothing. So do what you got to do. But we all know that you won't. You wouldn't dare. Because, as I said, Eddie Hearn's going to take over boxing. And if you want to keep on talking about boxing, guess what? You have to talk about Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. You're going to have to do it. Okay, so lay back, enjoy the show. This is going to be the start of USA takeover for boxing. Are the Brits colonising again? Maybe. Just maybe. Anyway, drop your thoughts below as to what you think the announcement's going to be. As I said, it will not be fighter announcements. That will probably come June, end of June. We'll get some fighter announcements for the stable over there. But we'll really have to wait and see. So, as I said, it'll be broadcasting and other little trinkets like that. So, yeah, drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.